all right, her last breath, finally, was done. And so she's officially, like soul or energy, if you believe all that, is out of her body, floating around. And Donna, my twin, was like, Mom, okay, Annie, go to the light.
I
You
love
may
it.
be lost right now. You are officially dead. Please go to the light. Don't be lost, Annie. Go to the light.
That's great.
And
I can hear it.
oh
ah,
yeah.
I just want to say, as a family and also as an individual, like talking about it, being courageous enough to talk about it and to shine light on something that, especially in the Asian community, is known as shameful and all
Mm-hmm.
that shit, that bullshit. As a family, you guys have really gracefully, not even trying, but like gracefully approached this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, in the long run, I feel like you're doing such a service to so many other people's families and individuals out there that may go through this in the future, but
Mm-hmm.
just, I have to say, like, I wouldn't know anyone else who could do it better than you and your family. Just being so graceful at accepting this
Mm-hmm.
and dealing with it and even talking about it,
Yeah.
being vulnerable and, giving us insight into this time in your life, which
Yeah.
so many people choose to shut themselves in it,
And
bury
just
themselves
not
in
talk
it,
about it. Yeah.
not talk about it. And ultimately, it doesn't do anyone any help, which is their choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate it. And also, you're making a huge shift. You, your sisters, your family as a whole, it's making a shift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's taking that negative energy from, choices that people make. Yeah, of course, it's gonna hurt individuals, but you're also not condemning it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, others that listen to this can also find that like empathy.
Yeah.
And not, because a lot of people, they'll feel so much like hatred and shame and just like mistrust of people and stuff. It's just, people go through shit. Life is hard.
Life is really hard.
It's difficult. And it's like, how are we going to help the issue by being more upset about it? Like you're always telling me, let it go, Liz. Let it go. Don't move on.
Harbor and like hold on to and harbor it
Yeah.
within you. And yeah.
But talk about it, right?
Talking about it helps a lot. It helps you acknowledge what is and when talking about it. And then once you acknowledge of what is, then you can take the next step of like, okay, now that I've shed light on this dark moment or dark thought, how do I move on from it? How do I move past this? Because I can't keep reliving this same trauma over and over again or reliving this same darkness over and over again. It does me no good. How can I move past this and just say like, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. There's things that I wish I could have done differently, but the past is just the story I tell myself. What can I do now in the present that will dictate my future? But what can I do now in the present that will make me happier? And I think that what I can do now in the moment that will make me happier is just like being a mental health advocate, talking about mental health and talking about how my mom went and how her life isn't just this sad mess. Like her life is it's full of beauty. It's full of happiness. It's full of love, and it's because she made it that way. And life is so precious. Death brings, mortality and death brings the beauty in life of living and the preciousness of being alive. If we were to all live forever and never die, then, life would be pretty meaningless. You're just like, well, I'm going to live forever anyway. So it's like, what's the point, But as soon as you know that death is there as an ending for life on earth, then you really cherish that life you have. And just because it's an ending for your life on earth physically doesn't mean spiritually or soul or your soul or anything ends as well. Who knows what happens to our consciousness and our actual soul and energy, what happens to it once we leave this vessel.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe we go back to the source, wherever that source is that our consciousness and soul and energy, whatever you want to call it, came from. It's all gonna we will meet. We'll come back to our maker, the one that first created us. And I think the that created us, I think it all results from love.
Mm-hmm.
I think love is that energy. I think God is love. I think God is, not this human, angry man or something in the sky. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
a loving energy that protects us if we lean towards him or her. Like just protects us. But yeah, I think this whole thing has made me look at death differently, and especially being by my mom's side and holding her hand to her last breath has made me realize like how precious life is, how
Mm-hmm.
fragile life is. And yeah, I really want to make the best of my life and um, continue to be a mental health advocate. And I'm glad that we were able to dedicate this whole, episode to my mom, Annie. And just thanks for listening, like thanks to you, Liz, for
Of
being there for
course.
me. And like,
Always, man.
yeah,
Always. You've always been there for me. You've extended your hand of friendship so easily to me when I so needed it. Like you are a loving person, and I'm so I feel honored that you would still let me be part of your life during this really difficult time in your life, you know what I mean? Also
yeah.
allowing me to learn so much firsthand from you going through this. And
Hmm.
I've also, my life has shifted too,
Hmm.
from like being close to you guys and being there for you guys during this moment, that benefited me,
Mm,
you know,
yeah,
just learning, like you said, like how precious life is, and
yeah,
even when I don't feel like getting up, I'm gonna still try to get up.
yeah.
You know, it
It's all you can do. Yeah,
everything ends. Okay, everyone, might as well start the story by taking that step. Get up,
yeah,
move around. You know, you never know what's around the corner.
true.
So it's like also reminds me to be continuously curious,
Mm,
to constantly, because you never know what's gonna be your medicine. Like
yeah,
right now, I'm in heavy into electronic music. I'm an electronic music producer. That's what I'm. But like you never know, another genre of music can uplift you. Like right now, I'm into indie rock right now.
mm,
So always be curious. Like books, read books,
yeah,
whatever. Go try something different. You never know if that's your cup of tea.
yeah,
Also, thanks to Debbie for giving me the book, um, by Brene Brown.
yeah. Brene Brown,
Brene Brown.
Gifts of
Yeah,
Imperfection.
Gifts of Imperfection. It's an amazing book, guys. If you want someone to like just easily break down, shame, being kind to yourself, gratitude, what is joy. It's honestly helped me so much. I really thank you for
Oh,
giving me that
good. I'm
book. It's
glad.
just, yeah, maybe you guys can get something from it, but
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, Liz,
all
and like,
right.
Liz was actually the person I called on my way to see my mom at the hospital her last night on Earth. And Liz was the person I called. It's like, it's like you ask yourself like, all right, like I feel like I need to call someone just to help me, keep me focused and like help me on my ride there. Like, who's that person gonna be? And I just knew like, oh, like it was just like no brainer. I was like, it's gonna be Liz. I'm gonna call Liz, and you were just there for me. You're just there to listen, there to say the right things. Like you just were present, and because nothing can prepare you for this, right? But you're so present, and you're just so willing to let me express myself and just be myself and go through the emotions with me. Um, but yeah, it was great being able to talk with Liz during that time, and like I said, spend the night with my mom and be by her side, hold her hands, like all that. Like my mom was loved to the very end, even after her passing, we're just like, all right, her last breath, finally, was done. And so she's officially, like soul or energy, if you believe all that, is out of her body, floating around. And Donna, my twin, was like, Mom, okay, Annie, go to the light.
I
You
love
may
it.
be lost right now. You are officially dead. Please go to the light. Don't be lost, Annie. Go to the
That's
light.
great.
And
I
because
can hear it. Oh,
oh
ah,
yeah.
ah.
You're officially dead, Annie. Please go to the light.
Donna?
Donna,
Donna? I can hear you.
I
I
can't.
can't see. I don't see you.
Oh my gosh. It's just like we just hear mom just being like oblivious to everything. It was funny when Dawn said that, it like totally made me chuckle.
Oh my
But it was
god, I
great because I
love
got to also thank the nurses
Yeah.
that like really took good care of my mom when we were there, and they were so sweet. He's like, "Can I give you a hug?" And he like gave me a
Yeah.
hug, and
I
like,
heard they were like one guy was really funny. Like he was so kind and like wise, but he
yeah.
also like he presented like he's just like a funny
And then
person.
Donna
Like
talked to him.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was like a Iranian man, and like he was just like,
Yeah, he had an
"Hey,
accent.
you know, you did the best thing you could for your mother." Like he's like, he just said something like, "Hey, you did the right thing.
Yeah. Don't
Good.
let them suffer.
Don't let them suffer.
You're doing such a good thing for
Good thing."
them.
Yeah.
Good thing for her.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's
Look, she
saying.
goes in peace. Look. So comfortable.
So comfy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad we did what we did, and as a family, there was no disagreement on like, oh, like should
Mhm.
we keep mom alive? Should we keep her alive or not alive? We're like, no, we are not like we are letting her go. We're not gonna hold on to her and just let her live her life out
Excuse me.
in a vegetative state. Like, no,
Yeah.
we're not doing that to her.